It's finally time for us to reveal some brand new amazing EARTH Elestrals, some Champions of Demeter for you guys to get excited for, so let's dive in. If you haven't pre-ordered Firestorm yet, what are you doing? We've got an exclusive promo for you guys at shopelestrals.com, our Stellar Exaltair Champion of Hermes that comes with every 50 you spend. Massive opportunities there, and of course we got our 2-player starter decks, our booster boxes, and our amazing accessories like our new plushies. A lot of amazing stuff, so make sure you guys get your pre-orders in. We're going to be talking about some new EARTH Elestrals today and some things that are going to change the EARTH Pantheon in a really cool way and pair incredibly well with Demeter and beyond. So let's talk about our first new EARTH Elestral, Pandicine, Champion of Demeter. I'll tell you what, I love this little cutie, another beauty by the Elite Four. Pandicine, Champion of Demeter, comes to the field with 2 attack and 4 defense, and a super cool effect. You can return up to 2 Earth Spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck if your Demeter is enchanted. A very simple effect that states that if you play this Pandicine and you've got a Demeter on the field, you get to heal 2 every turn. Pretty sweet stuff, nice and simple, and an opportunity for you to recur and regenerate those Earth Spirits and pair incredibly well with the stat buffing powers of the Goddess of the Harvest, Demeter herself, making this Pandicine a potential powerhouse offensively, but most of the time you're going to utilize it to get some spirits back and do some really cool things. This next Champion of Demeter, though, is absolutely nuts, and it's going to make Earth decks a lot stronger. Back in Frostfall, we introduced the first of our Lith Elestrals, and we've got a new champion, Verdalith, coming to the Coliseum right now. Verdalith, Champion of Demeter. This one hits the field with 2 attack and 6 defense, so a very defensive body, but it does state that it can be normal cast with 2 earth if your Demeter is enchanted. So if you compare this with a Demeter, you just get to cast out an incredibly powerful 6 defense Elestral. When you target this Verdalith with Demeter's effect, so you buff its attack and defense by 3, you can special cast a 1 Spirit Earth Elestral from your hand. This effect can only be activated once each turn. That little clause is there in case you're having 2 Demeters in the field, but ultimately you have the flexibility of every single turn you can buff your Verdalith and you can special cast out another Earth Elestral. So you can cast out that Pandicine we just mentioned, or you can cast out one of the more powerhouses within the Earth element, like your Equalinx or your Vysceris or otherwise, to swarm the field and put on immense amounts of pressure. And again, this Verdalith can become your normal cast and set up an incredibly powerful defensive wall to align with Demeter and do some really cool things. So I think this card is awesome, and I can't wait to see what you guys cook up with the brand new Earth cards coming in Firestorm. Now up next, we've got a very unique card coming to Firestorm, and that is a brand new Vysceris, but it is not a titled Vysceris, and I want to explain how this is going to work. We talked about it in a previous video, that if an Elestral card comes out and it does not have a title and it shares the same name as a previous card, they're going to be competing for the same slots. However, if you guys recall, Vysceris from base set, its original effect, is limited to 2 copies per deck. What this new Vysceris is going to do is this one is not going to be limited. So you're going to be fighting for 3 total slots for Vysceris of base set and Firestorm Vysceris, but you can only use 2 of those slots on the base set one. So now you can actually get a 3rd Vysceris back by utilizing the Firestorm one, or you can use 3 Firestorm Vysceris, or you can use 1 base set Vysceris, 2 Firestorm Vysceris, etc. So we're going to uphold the restriction on the original Vysceris at 2, but you can add a 3rd copy if you're using the Firestorm one. Hopefully that's super clear. Let's talk about this brand new Vysceris and its effect, and how it's going to make Vysceris even stronger than it ever was before, but in a way that will hopefully be a little bit more balanced. This Vysceris comes to the field with 4 attack and 1 defense, 1 cost earth, and its effect is pretty simple. This Vysceris gets +1 attack for each Vysceris on the field, so it immediately becomes a 5, just like the original Vysceris did. However, while there is another Vysceris on your field, this Vysceris is unaffected by opponent's counter runes. What that means is your previous Vysceris from, of course, the base set metagame can swarm out and not only grab the base set Vysceris, but they can grab this new one, this new Firestorm Vysceris, and give itself counter protection, and that could be pretty useful for you. So a lot of cool stuff here, a lot of cool ideas to explore. Adding in Vysceris again back in so people can run 3 without it being 3 copies of base set is something that I'm very excited to explore, and we'll make sure we get our banned and restricted list updated to make this super clear for you guys. So hopefully it's not too confusing, but a kind of a fun next step for us in the chapter of Elestrals with a brand new Vysceris. My man PK Sparks revealed this one on his channel, and this is a super fun card coming to Firestorm, and that is none other than Panzer getting a brand new print. And much like the Vysceris, this Panzer does not have a title, so again, you'll be utilizing Frostfall Panzer and this Panzer will be competing for 3 deck slots total. This one hits the field with 3 attack and 4 defense, and a super cool effect. When you cast this Panzer, you can enchant a number of Earth Spirits to it, up to the number of Elestrals on an opponent's field. So if your opponent has 2 Elestrals on the field and you cast Panzer, you can enchant up to 2 more spirits to it. So there's some really cool implications here with how this could work with cards like Foley Forest, but also setting up for potential Ascension plays down the road. You can get a lot of spirits on Panzer very quickly. If your opponent has 1 or 2 or even 3 Elestrals on the field, there's a lot of opportunities here. And as more cards get introduced into the game that allow players to swarm their boards and go a little bit wider, cards like Panzer have an opportunity to get loaded up on spirits. And then you have your payoff. When the Panzer is destroyed in battle, you can draw a card for each enchanting spirit on it. So if you were able to load up a bunch of spirits on it, those can turn into incredible draw power. Very, very cool stuff. Again, I think this card really shines when paired with Foley Forest, getting the ability to buff its stats, both its attack and defense stat. And I think the ability to draw and regenerate resources is something that is very, very welcomed here in the Earth deck, and something that Panzer will excel at. Up next, we've got a brand new reverse stellar for you guys to chase after. This one is an absolute beauty, and you'll be able to find it in your booster packs across the booster boxes, and of course in our blister packs and beyond, which, by the way, if you haven't picked up our amazing blister packs, that by Pyro and Lycra, absolutely nuts. But we've got the brand new Stellar Pandicine, Reverse Stellar Champion of Demeter. I showcased this card earlier in this video, and this one's just gorgeous, man. This is one of my favorite arts in the set, I think. Diego coming through big time with the Demeter in the background. This thing's looking cute. Its little face mask is getting blown off. This one is one for the collection, no doubt about it. These reverse stellars are so amazing in Firestorm. Gonna be a true treat for you guys to pull. One of the most important things with Elestrals is supporting and uplifting our local game stores. So I'm gonna be telling you guys about an exclusive LGS promo that you can get by pre-ordering or ordering from a local game store, and that is the brand new Vysceris, Champion of Hestia. This new Elestral hits the field with 3 attack and 4 defense, and it's got a really cool effect that pairs with Hestia that says you can disenchant a fire spirit from your Hestia in order to add a 1 spirit fire Elestral from your underworld to your hand. So you can utilize your Hestia to find more Elestrals from your underworld. When you ascend this Vysceris, during your end phase, you can special cast it from your underworld with fire, setting up for more plays down the road, and of course, adding in some very cool opportunities to build a wide board with Hestia where you're already swarming the field by special casting out Elestrals. So I personally think this card is absolutely gorgeous, and I think this is an incredible LGS promo. So make sure you get your pre-order with us. Make sure you get your pre-order in with your local game shop so they can get hooked up and you can get yourself a Stellar Vysceris Champion of Hestia. This thing is gorgeous. Get your pre-orders in, shopelestrals.com, or bang on the door of your local game store and tell them to carry Elestrals. If you're someone who lives in a different country like Canada or in the EU and UK, we do have distribution in those places now. We work with Universal Distribution in Canada, and we also have Blackfire EU, the biggest European distributor, Bliss UK in the UK, and we work with a handful of distribution channels in the US as well. So there's no reason why your shop can't find Elestrals nowadays. We've expanded, we're gonna make it happen, but we need your help to go into the stores and ask for the product, because that's the best way for the store to know to start carrying. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Stay tuned for more epic reveals tomorrow. I'll see y'all then.